radio station. I'm doing an interview for There's the Hallway.
I'll basically come to the point of view of
I'll give my thing to my girl.
you know, the listeners might know anything, so they can ask the most basic questions like, what brings you to Adelaide? Tell us
radio
about
station
how
this
you
is
get
at all.
into professional wrestling.
This is, sorry, what's your name again?
Andrew.
Andrew, we're at radio station what?
5AA Adelaide, South Australia.
Cool.
And the Saint here has brought the
I'm trying to do a little bit of a... I traveled to Puerto Rico once and didn't take a picture, did nothing.
Yeah.
So this time I thought I'd document everything. We're
Yeah,
trying to
mate.
do a movie at home. A friend of mine, he's in the filmmaking in university, so...
Yeah, everything, mate.
We did a TV show last week. We had a minute on live.
Follow me.
We're on our way.
The people back home will want to see, they want to see kangaroos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They want to see koalas.
training, and I actually get an ounce of sleep because I just, I don't know, she's filling my ass on the way out. Stuff. I'm pissed off right now. I'm doing my first radio thing ever, and my girl who I brought the film doesn't want to film. Shouldn't matter what I look like because I don't want TV. Sorry. Where would I find the restrooms?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I just don't want to try.
You know the
First on
restroom.
your left.
Watch me. How you doing?
Ah, good man. You know,
How long you been
just
working?
flew in from Vegas.
Oh, boy.
I
Are you
wish.
serious?
No, I wish, mate.
How long you been working here?
8 years. 8 years tomorrow. Actually, 8 years
8
tomorrow.
years tomorrow.
8 years tomorrow is going to be payroll time.
And you are the head of the sports?
I'm the producer.
Producer for the
I'm
sports.
not the head man. In fact, this is the head man. This is Mr. Paul Thompson.
It's like Paul.
He's in charge of a network of how many stations, Paul?
What have you got happening here?
I'm doing a documentary of my trip to Australia.
Oh, okay.
An American professional wrestler.
Canadian, North American, international.
Yes.
And you guys have graciously had me on your show to fill a small time slot, which I think is fantastic for people to actually recognize the form of entertainment that is not respected by everybody, but enjoyed by tons.
Yeah.
Appreciate and thank you for having me here today.
Great to see you.
Wrestle Rage 4. Next Saturday, Beverton Theater.
Yes.
Yeah, this Saturday. Excuse me.
He owns
He's your boss, right?
5 years. 5 years he's bought 70 radio stations. Just spent $155 million on one in Sydney and $70 million on one in Melbourne. He's the one that established, we started off, he established SAFM, which then became all stereo right around Australia, and then we fell out with him, so he's just, one of those 5 years he's gone from this station to 70 stations.
I need to see that sponsorship for next year.
Should probably do. Evans, excuse me.
They come next.
Okay.
So we got
I think he's a little more stressed out than I am. He's all writing down stuff. We're here to promote Wrestle Rage 4, March 24th, 2007. This Saturday, yes. That's 4 months. Adrian Manera right here, folks.
Hi, Adrian.
How you going, friends?
We're at the
Back
radio
together.
station. And basically we might have 5 minutes today, but the goal today is to do something interesting, not boring, catch a few listeners, and well, there's the boss.
Enjoy your trip.
See you later, Steve.
Try to capture the audience attention for people that are flipping tuners. We all know what radios are, we all listen to them, and we know whether it's a song or something that catches our ears. So I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm trying to do something catchy and try to stay a step ahead of the interviewer producer and try to get over.
What's that, man?
I'm battling myself right now. Adrian, write down something along the lines of, if St. Peter had some quotes, what would St. Peter quote, and where would he quote from, and sort of like
I understand what you're saying.
as it is written or as it was written.
Okay, so you're going to say,
I don't know.
I know you're going to the religious.
Basically, what St. Peter stands for.
Okay, this is how you can end it. Because remember that Mike John Barnes from Channel 7
Yeah.
he goes, God help me, you take me to
The guy walks through my shot.
Yeah, he goes, God help me. You can say, you know, anyway.
God help everybody on the show.
I said, listen, thank you so much. I said, I'm going to leave you with one final thing. This Saturday, God help, God help.
I had something and I should have written it down. I was in the shower or something. No, I had something. It'll come to me. It's a third person, not like the rock. Not like St. Peter says. No, it's a third person. Something like. Why are people so afraid of cameras?
They're trying to be considerate and not walk in front of my shot.
This is the word as it is written by St. Peter or something like that. My mother saying something like St. Peter was good. He was saying, you know what I mean? As something, this is something as it is something by St. Peter. We're in the hallway. Alright, well, we'll cut it for now, and hopefully Simone can get some good shots. Upper belly. We'll see it.
Hey,
When I'm on the air or something like that. I
yeah.
thought it was going to be taped, now it's going to freak and it's going to be live. Yeah, that's what's happening. We got about 5 minutes, and it's the first for me, and I'm glad today. I remembered the cameras the other day, the TV station. I have actually would like to go back and just pretend that was my day. Day job. Anyway.
On his way to India after passing a fitness test on his shoulder, and ACD boss Malcolm Speed has been announced as the new CEO of the International Cricket Council. That's sport. I'm Cam Thompson, for Bridgestone Tyre Centres.
It's 6:04.
5AA, traffic and weather together.
We've had reports of an accident on Longwood Road at Seafield in the Hills. Motorists are being asked to take extreme care on the road tonight. Rain is making conditions hazardous. There's a road weather alert for the metro area and the Adelaide Hills.
Yeah, I can send you one. I've got your details, so I can send one off to you.
This is current for Adelaide
Yeah,
and
for
Mount
the-
Lofty ranges. Rain period with local heavy falls tomorrow, easing to showers. Strong gale falls winds easing.
Yeah, almost straight away.
After a low of 14.
I should have taken it there at 6 when the news was on, so the guys could have a really good chat.
Thursday, a morning shower or two, 21, and Friday, mainly fine, 22. Saturday,
Yeah.
rain turning to
Oh,
showers,
there, you know,
19.
Cornsey like it's
On the
obvious,
waters,
I
southwest
can tell
winds
Rick,
20
isn't
to
it?
30 knots tonight.
Yep.
2.5 metres. Right now in Melbourne, it's 16 degrees. News as it happens, 39.5, Adelaide's 5AA.
Should have told him that, yeah. I don't know.
It's 7 minutes past 6 on Tuesday night in India. India 4 for 321, trail Australia by 70, and Sachin Tendulkar looking more and more comfortable to worry as the day goes on. Australian bowling not been convincing apart from Glenn McGrath, who's bowled magnificently. He has a couple of announcements. Who's this? Greg Boyce. They said, can you please announce this over the air just after 6 tonight? Right, okay, Greg, anything you ask? A message from the night tennis coordinator of North East Tennis Association's night tennis competition. Please be advised that tonight's preliminary final matches to be played at Colin Grove and Prospect are cancelled due to the weather. Isn't that bad?
Oh, shocking. It's been raining for most of the hour. Where have you been?
You don't have any windows.
Well, it was pouring at 3 o'clock. Sorry, Stan?
I looked out the window. It was
Pouring, it was drizzling.
now look, So the preliminary finals matches to be played at Colin Grove and Prospect are cancelled due to the weather, but players are still asked to go to Colin Grove Tennis Club at 7 o'clock to make arrangements to complete tonight's matches before next Tuesday.
Gale force winds up to 30 kilometres an hour, I believe.
I rang home and Nicole said it was
Batten down.
Jessica says, I'm a South Australian who follows the Crows, had decided to support Port Adelaide this year and buy a season ticket for them. As well, I followed the Crows in the early years, put up with a hardcore group of Magpie supporters who always attended the Crows matches and always supported the opposition and were loud and vocal in their criticism. I thought that was a majority of players from the other SA clubs and interstate, but I could support the Power as well. Aren't we all South Australians? However, something happened at the Power Brisbane match that made me forget buying a Power season ticket for some time. Before the match started, I was reading a paper with head down when a huge cheer went up. I assumed that the Power were entering the arena. Not so. The scoreboard had just shown that St Kilda had beaten the Crows. I can understand why a lot of us who supported the Power on Saturday night won't be buying a ticket for them. I think I will join my son and buy an AFL ticket instead. Sorry, Brian. You're a gentleman. Pity about some of the ferals who aren't. Okay. Well, we are very privileged because there's an event happening at Theberton Theatre this Saturday.
Yep.
It's Wrestle Rage 4.
Sounds exciting, I tell you what.
Australia's first ever ultimate death match, and we
Death match?
Death match. Are you scared?
Yeah. Dead scared.
We are privileged to have the star of the show, direct from the USA, St. Peter. St. Peter, how are you?
Hi, I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
What do we call you?
St. Peter.
Pete. Pete. I call you Pete.
It's pretty well the same on the sheet there. Actually, no, you can call me whatever you feel appropriate. It's not nasty names. You guys have a lot of different sayings down under here, and you never know when you're paying me out.
We can call you a Drongo, but you wouldn't know what that was, would you?
I'll just smile and look at you. Deal with you later after the show.
Good. Pick him, St. Peter, not me. I'm a gentleman. How long have you been in Australia?
I'm on past 2 weeks now.
2 weeks?
Going on my third. Finally getting the bodies coming around. Geez, that's hard. I had a long flight.
Yeah, it is.
It was.
Is this your first time to Australia?
Yeah, it is, and I think it's great.
Tell us about some of the opponents you've had. Are these Australian guys or some Americans as well? We've got TNT.
As far as I know, I only recognize one brother there. That's one guy, Jason Helton. He's from Canada.
Okay.
Where our paths have crossed. Now you see, I am basically North American. I do a lot of wrestling in Canada, a lot of wrestling in the United States, and a lot in Puerto Rico, which is considered the States.
Yeah.
But make my home in the United States now, but I was born and raised in Canada, so that's how me and Jason Helton go, and that's the only one I recognize. But I've read about a lot of these guys and seen some matches. Australia's got a lot of talent.
Now, who will you be wrestling on Saturday night yourself?
I'm going to be wrestling this character that calls himself TNT. TNT,
Most
yeah.
explosive wrestler, TNT.
Yeah, he's the one with a fuse hanging out of his mouth there.
It's got a nice.
I do plan on blowing him up. Yeah, so I'm excited. He's apparently, he's the show. He's apparently what it says, the most explosive wrestler. We'll see. We'll see. I have a lot of plans for him. I'm a demolition man, you know what I mean? Besides the same. Anything's cleanly, but I get the job done.
What's your favourite hold?
Favorite hold?
Favorite hold.
Anything that knocks the guy out for 15 to 20 minutes. Whatever gets me that win, the 1, 2, 3, as we do in professional wrestling, the pin. And if I don't get the pin, well, I find something.
Which is the one that paralyses you?
The sleeper hold.
Is it the sleeper hold?
The sleeper hold, yeah, it's one of those moves that, done incorrectly, can really damage someone.
Ooh.
Just used correctly, does the job that you want it to, and that is basically puts the circulation off.
Could you just show me on Ken how it works?
I'm a very
old man.
Old man, exactly right. I don't want you to hurt me.
Sure,
He's a lover, not a fighter.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Exactly right.
I'll make my way over here.
Do you have a sense of history of the sport?
Get them laughing.
Yeah, it's one of my 6th year. 6 beautiful, painful years that I started back in Canada, and like I said, I've toured the whole country of Canada, the United States. I've had plenty of matches with the World Wrestling Federation, which I believe is coming back here in Australia soon. World Championship Wrestling, WCW that is. And also, unfortunately, there's a company out of Philadelphia that is no longer, looks like it's been disassembled ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. But I've done a lot more in Puerto Rico. It's called the World Wrestling Council. So with all that, yeah, that's the...
Now, so Peter, can I ask you?
Yes, sir.
How dinkum is all this?
Oh,
in English. Oh, sorry, in English. Yes, dinkum. How is it for real? Is it serious? Or is it showing?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. And let me start by saying...
Show it. No.
I could. Words, or let me say a few things. Actions speak louder. But when you go to a show and people that are going for the first time are surprised with what they see, people that have been around and seen it on TV, they know what to expect. Let me put it into a short little analogy. When you go to the movies and you watch a blockbuster film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's $200 million budget, and you see things blowing up, people dying, you kind of realize that it's a show, it's a movie, these characters. Now, let me say that professional wrestling you see on TV these days, it's a show. It's one of the greatest shows. First and one only take live performances. And people do get hurt. One of our Canadian boys was killed, Owen Hart, God bless him. So, I will never, it is not fake.
No.
It is a hardcore form of entertainment that only people that are properly trained should partake in.
Because you had to know what you were doing, wouldn't you?
Exactly. You can literally kill someone, maim them, paralyze them.
I don't get it was choreographed to a certain degree. I mean, all the things you say are true, but there's certain moves that, there's a certain amount of theatre in it, isn't it?
Very theatrical, but to me it's very real. I take it very seriously.
I've seen guys stand on the turnbuckle and launch themselves in real land flat on their back. Now that must take a lot of practice and training. How sprung is the floor of the?
It's not very spring at all. It's a very firm, unforgiving surface that if you don't land correctly, and even when you do land correctly, the next day, the next week, you're walking funny, you're in pain. There's been times in my life, on my tours, I wrestled 7 days a week, 30 days, and I wrestled with broken ribs, broken thumb, broken jaw.
Do you ever get upset?
You lose your cool.
When you're in a, you lose your cool. You just lose it for a second, and you
Actually, yeah, plenty of times, and I full intention of losing it this Saturday. So I want the great fans of Adelaide to set out to the Thebron Interior on 24th. Hope I said that right.
So TNT.
TNT. I don't have a lot of respect for him at all.
You don't?
No.
Can I ask you why?
I think he's a hothead, hot dog, whatever you. What's the word? Give me an Australian term I can use for someone that thinks it's a lot better than it really is.
a layer.
An egotist.
Yeah.
A layer.
Because I am friends, and I've wrestled these gentlemen that he has.
The buffet's a good word for him.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. TNT, come in, come on, let's start it now. I don't care. No, seriously. On a professional level, I'm going to do things to him and that he's never had done before when it comes inside that square circle. I mean, I'm here, I've been flown over to do a job, and I'm going to perform to my best abilities, and I do have a lot of abilities. And I'm, like I said, I have no respect for any, I get in that ring, it's all business, so I dare you, hardcore fans in the upper Adelaide area of wherever we are, the theater is, Thebron. I apologize, I mean, there's no disrespect. But people that work in buildings, ops buildings, construction sites, drive taxis, come on out. Come and see what this Canadian, that's me I'm talking about, Canadian superstar, American performer from the North American. I'm going to blow somebody up.
How often do you work out?
I'm usually in the gym 5 times a week. Now, not always lifting weights.
Yeah.
There was a time where I was a lot more bulky and massive. Now I think I still have some good size and a lot more definition in my lungs. Because this, to tell you, there's one thing about this profession, and if you're not in shape in your lungs, you will not be successful.
But you're 3 times a week in the gym, or another
5
in the gym?
5 at least. A lot of cardiovascular, you got to eat properly. It's a 24-hour day.
We've seen wrestlers who are big, but they're also fat. You're definitely not fat.
No.
You're big. Do you wax your hair?
Oh,
do you wax? There's no hair on your body.
No.
Does he wax your body? What do you wax? There's no hair.
I'm fair hair. Shave off, and and like I said, when you go in, you wear a shirt and tie or whatever you do to your office, and when we go into the ring, that's our office, and there's certain outfits you wear, and you want to look the best, and you know what? There's a certain female audience that you want to capture. You wouldn't know anything about that, I'm sure.
So Peter, if someone accused me of waxing my legs, I'd build them.
He probably does.
You did said wax your arms.
I wouldn't, if I were you, wear any shorts. Some small legs there.
How,
Seriously.
how much of a problem is that, the attention of the female fans?
It's not a problem at all. Professionally,
Are you married?
no, I'm not. It's kind of hard to, at this time in my life, to have anything serious because you use a lot of
So busy.
traveling. And, yeah. But, you know, that's part of the business. You make choices sometimes.
How old are you now?
I'm 26 years old.
And how long can you stay in the business?
Well, that's a good question. Depends how long the business wants you in it. And how long, you know, that's where it comes in. People that stay in shape, take care of themselves. You know what I mean? You got to stay ahead of the game.
A lot of the guys definitely look like they're on steroids or use performing-enhancing drugs,
Well, all I gotta say,
bodybuilding agents.
yeah, you know, I agree with you, and that's everybody has their own preference.
Yeah.
Have you used them?
No, I haven't.
But
Not
you have-
personally, and I don't know if I was ever faced with with that
Good answer.
decision. I don't know if I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you, it's the competition thing, it's
Yes.
a whole different argument, and I don't think we're here to talk about that.
And
That's
so-
just the way it is.
Did you wrestle at college?
No, actually, I learned a lot of amateur style moves in my professional wrestling.
Good evening.
I had the opportunity to wrestle and train at the WCW Power Club,
5AA.
which is
Yeah,
worldwide now through different coverage, TV media. It's fantastic for the
That is
information
ours,
that,
yes.
people go
I'm
through
not
to train. and
sure
learn.
what it is.
I was lucky and I had privilege
Who's
to train
saying it?
a lot of great, fantastic
bye-bye.
athletes and superstars in the world of wrestling.
So that's where they recruit from. basically.
Exactly at the time for that particular company. And,
And so, Peter, what can you tell us about the ultimate death match between do you know them at all?
I'm familiar with some of these matches. They take place a lot in Japan, and I'm not sure what we have in store here this Saturday, but I can't wait. I can't wait to actually sit as a fan myself.
He's a pro.
And
knows
pray
how to
that
do
no one
it,
gets seriously injured, but that is something that could happen. This is going to be something for the mature audience. I tell you that right now, but it could be. I don't know. I really don't know.
No,
what
they have
to
these.
expect.
They do have these really like no holds barred, and they just go till one guy gets. knocked
Also,
out.
there could be, in one corner you have a box of nails, the other corner
Box and nails.
2x4s wrapped in barbed wire, and then glass, and then cables
sure.
on fire.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
good
people
stuff.
go, the ring's been on fire.
Think about
You
that.
take the ring ropes down and you replace it with barbed wire. Well, that's something you want to see. Then I'll ask you, is it fake?
No.
I don't think
Come on
that's-
in.
I don't-
Come on in. That's when you ask someone,
Well,
come on in, I'll show you that it's not fake.
Well, how much?
It's always money with you guys.
You don't do it for nothing.
I know, exactly.
You don't do it
No,
for nothing.
I have, though, before, back in the old days, when you wanted to get into the business, did whatever it takes was to get to a show and get on it and to get that experience. So sometimes
And do the promoters exploit that attitude?
everybody exploits. Back when you're new and you know it, I was ripped off a lot by promoters that made promises and stuff, but then you have good promoters, and I think the promoter I'm working for
Is it a good one?
There's a couple promoters I'm working for in the Australian cities, Melbourne and Adelaide. They've been treating me really, really well, so I have a lot of respect. But particularly this one I'm working for, I haven't met him yet, but I've spoken to him and faxed the contracts and signed it. With the Wrestle Rage is going to be one heck of a professional. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've seen this theater.
I can see you excited.
Saturday the 24th of March.
That's this Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, at the Theberton Theatre.
You guys going to go?
Uh,
I dare you. You gotta come. You gotta come see my match.
I'll just see how I'm placed. So
We're
What do you mean bed by then?
we're participants.
You guys should come and do a live
We're going to put the title.
radio shot from the computer.
We get the title.
Recording live, and
We will.
that'd be really good to have two TV against two radio hosts.
yeah, me too.
Thank you for coming in. St. Peter.
Thank you very, very much.
Wrestle
Thanks,
Rage
Peter.
4, Witness Australia's first ever Ultimate Death Match. If you're a wrestling fan, that looks like it's going to be a great night. Saturday, March the 24th. Theberton Theatre, great venue, very convenient. It's the Ultimate Challenge.